lose the frame, lose the match, everything gone. He's playing a different shot. Which really was out of necessity. You know, it may have looked a poor shot, but he didn't know what to do. That's why he didn't play that first time.
This is the thing. I mean, obviously O'Sullivan has got to pop the balls, but it could be match over anyway.
1. Seven.
I was talking to a player recently about Ronnie O'Sullivan, and he was saying something quite interesting. He said, I don't think a lot of people understand the pressure that he's under to try and perform, you know, with his record
15.
and what people have seen down the years. If you go and see him, you're hoping he's going to turn it on, and it's very hard to do that at will, particularly in a match like this where, you know, he's not played for months in a tournament, but from 3-3 he's looked very, very good. Big crowd here, been hoping to see him certainly perform, and I'm sure many of them want to see him win. This is his chance to do that.
I would say one thing, that he has played really well, but he has been presented with those chances in those 3 frames. I don't think he's created them.
22.
You know, I guess he created the chance in the previous
23.
frame with the snooker behind the brown, so that was good. Which Carter decided to just hit as hard as he could. Understood why he played the shot, but you know, there's an argument that the safety's got him in rather than his long game has been pretty much, say non-existent, but it's not been a factor today, O'Sullivan. It's close control, which is just starting to come together, I think.
30.
Well, I think it'll be, I mean, it's always an interesting match when he plays John Higgins, but we know Higgins is playing good stuff. You know, he played well again today, another win over Karen Wilson, and he certainly doesn't fear O'Sullivan.
Yeah, I mean,
31.
obviously, if Ronnie does go on and win this match, you would say that right now, perhaps John Higgins would be potentially a favourite, not necessarily in the eyes of the bookmakers, but the point you're making, that he's a little bit further into the season than O'Sullivan.
38.
And there isn't a lot to choose between them over 30 years, so
39.
it would be interesting to see it anyway. Whoever's going to win it, we're not entirely sure. But right now, O'Sullivan with a chance to get this match won and make it all happen. Into the bunch. Well, that's not perfect. He's on a thin red, but
44.
for the shot he played, which was a pretty gentle cannon, might have hoped that something better than this would come his way.
There you are, a little late twist. Ali Carter was not quite thinking about the flight home, but things weren't looking good for him. But it was a very thin red that O'Sullivan attempted, didn't get it. So, okay, he's 52 behind, but this is a good chance.
1.
And Sullivan showed frustration. I think, as I said at the time, just felt that the split of the bunch left a few awkward little shots, but the other thing that happened was he cleared the red away from the black spot in doing so, and he's given Carter a gift here. Will he take it? Oh, kick. I believe that was a poor contact. We don't see that many of them, but I think we saw one there.
Didn't sound nice, did it? Well, if that's his last shot, which it probably will be, that's horrible for Carter. I was just looking at the table, you know, there was one red on a cushion, that was basically it, but that's a pretty nasty thing to happen, certainly at that stage.
Nine. Sixteen. 17.
Well, it's been eventful. It always seems to be when Ronnie O'Sullivan plays. We're wondering what sort of shape he would be in. Well, we can find out how deep he'll go in the tournament after this match, because he'll be here for the next round, of course, against John Higgins. Ali Carter, as always, is giving it everything, but it's going to now be on the head-to-head to O'Sullivan, 16 wins to 1.
Yeah, I think it's work in progress, isn't it, for O'Sullivan? He has showed some glimpses, maybe a few more than glimpses of his best. But I'm sure, knowing the kind of person he is and how he often sets himself high targets, he mightn't think that he played that well. You never quite know what he'll say. He might say he played brilliantly, but I'm not sure that's quite how it's been. But ultimately, match one of the season, massive tournament
39.
against
40.
an opponent who won a match the day before. I think most players will be pretty pleased with this.
Well, the thing is, he's held to a very high standard, the standards that he's produced, which includes some of the best snooker ever played. But, like you say, first match in several
46.
months. The fact is, he doesn't have to play his best always to win, does he? And
47.
he's played well enough. Be a very interesting match, as ever, against John Higgins, who's playing good stuff himself. Two all-time legends, contemporaries, are going to go head-to-head again for a place in the semis. One not to be missed. Ali Carter's gathering his things. It was a horrible way for him to end his run here with that kick when he had a good chance. He can't wait now to get out the place.
I looked over at him, actually. He looked really disappointed, maybe with his performance. The kick, I mean, to get a kick these days, I mean, the equipment has
63.
improved that we're using, and we don't see many of them. But we saw one there. I mean, I've absolutely no doubt it was a kick. It sounded bad, and it came off with a thick contact.
66.
And it's always unlucky. People used to say kicks were bad cueing. Well, obviously that's nonsense, because we don't get them as many now.
70.
It's just the way it is.
So Ronnie O'Sullivan's 32nd season as a professional starts with a victory. He had to work for it. He led 3-1, 3-3. Carter was on top. O'Sullivan made his first century of the campaign, 101, and he's finished off a winner by 6 frames to 3. And he will take on another all-time legend, John Higgins, in the quarterfinals of the Shanghai Masters. He still hasn't lost in this tournament.